internet privacy now, or lack thereof, and Google is reportedly set to pay a record fine to settle charges that it violated people's privacy online. The feds say Google recently tracked the internet habits of millions of folks who use the Safari web browser, even when their settings were supposed to be blocking it. Safari comes standard with Apple computers as well as iPhones and iPads. Google announced it immediately halted the secret tracking soon after the story broke back in February. So they got caught and then they stopped. Well, now the Wall Street Journal, which our parent company owns, quotes unnamed officials who say Google will settle with the Federal Trade Commission to the tune of $22.5 million. And if it's true, that would be the biggest penalty that agency has ever slapped on any one company. A Google spokeswoman says personal information was never at risk during that secret tracking. Let's take that to the judge. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano was with us, and once again, violation of privacy rights. It just seems never ending.
Well, it's more than that, Shep. As you indicated in the introduction to this segment, Google agreed in writing in an agreement approved by a federal judge last October not to do this again. And if the Wall Street Journal report is to be believed, and Google has not yet denied it, and the report is now 8 hours old, they've been caught violating not only privacy rights, not only federal law, but their own contract with the Federal Trade Commission. That's why they agreed to cough up $23.5 million. Now, that is a lot of money in absolute terms. To Google, they earn it in about 15 or 20 minutes.
Well, isn't there something anyone can do? Or have these companies just gotten so big? I mean, people are worried about the government on top of us. Could we worry about these companies once and for all?
Yes, we do need to worry about the companies because the companies have employed very sophisticated means. This case, Shep, is based upon findings of deception, that Google deceived its own customers into signing agreements that permitted Google to allow other of its customers to track the original customers. So it not only deceived the Federal Trade Commission, it deceived the people who sign up for Gmail. That's why the fine should be larger, and that's why the money collected should not go to the federal treasury, but it should go to the people whose privacy rights were violated by Google. So this is a lose-lose. Google gets to pay a pittance, and the feds get to have more money to waste on federal projects, and the people who really suffered here, those whose privacy rights were violated, don't get a nickel out of this, Shep.
Couldn't there be some sort of class action lawsuits, the real victims of this Google malfeasance? Couldn't they rise up together somehow?
Yes, there could be a class action. The agreement with the Federal Trade Commission does not prohibit one, and Google's lawyers very appropriately negotiated phrases in there by which Google does not admit to any liability. So a class action would start from a baseline of zero, in which the plaintiff's lawyers, who would make the most money in a class action, would have to prove the case before a federal judge. But I will tell you this, if they go before the federal judge who approved this settlement with Google, they will find a very receptive audience, because she was not happy with what the Federal Trade Commission found out about Google. You are right. They can be as dangerous to our privacy as the federal government itself can be.
Rise up, power to the people. Judge Napolitano, thank you.
Don't get me in trouble, Shep.
Oh, you're already in trouble. We're both always in trouble. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.